Anytime a fucked up thing happens to you personally, it's a chance to become a bitter piece of shit, or a little more angry, or a little more tired, or a little more depressed, or to become a hero. Anything, whatever it may be, any bit of phenomena that comes your way as a person. You know, anytime I find, like, anytime something's really got to get done that I've been procrastinating, or anytime some shitty, unexpected thing comes my way, I have a moment to decide, am I going to react to this like I always react to shitty things,
right,
and like become negative or dark or get pissed? Or can I like react to it in a completely new way? And I think every time you do a new way, this is my woo-woo concept, you pop into a different part of the multiverse. It's a little better than the one you were in before. And it's like a trajectory you can go on. When I was getting stoned at the gym at 4 a.m., I was imagining on the treadmill that I was running through the multiverse towards a healthier version of me.
Whoa.
That I wasn't getting in shape. I was actually being inhaled into a more in shape version of me that already existed. That's the kind of shit I have to do to get myself to work out.
Dude, that's heavy.
Yeah, man. It's fun to do that, you know? Every single decision is like a binary. Do you want to continue doing the shit you've been doing over and over again, whatever it may be, or do you want to try a mildly new way? And every time you do that, sure as shit, it's not just you that starts changing. You'll notice like other stuff starts changing too around you. You know, things just tend to generally get better.
Yeah. I think there's thoughts that I've had that are real similar to that, where I've wondered, like, if multiverses are real and there's supposed to be different versions of you, infinite versions all over the universe, why are we assuming that this is the same every day you wake up in the same version?
Yeah.
Why are we assuming that?
Exactly.
The thing about sleep is you just go away. Then you come back with a memory of what life was like before you went away. Yeah. And you wouldn't notice if it just slid you one notch to the right or one notch to the left into the multiverse. If there's an infinite number of Duncans out there with ghillie suits and gas masks on,
yeah, and
you just slid over to the right by letting a little old lady in front of you and not even complaining when she was driving 30 miles an hour.
That's it.
You're like, it's all right. She's a nice lady. Let me just get around her nice and slow and safe.
Yeah, that's it.
Wave to her. Hi.
And the more you do that, the more you do that, the more you start running into other people who are doing the same thing. You start ending up in that part of the multiverse where many other people are doing the same thing.
Yes.
And eventually, you know, theoretically, I think, eventually through those series of decisions, maybe that's where you can that's where all of a sudden you start realizing like, oh shit, I'm in a temple. I'm not even in a reality that I thought I was in. I was just like in a deep state of contemplative meditation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of interesting experiments you can do. Have you ever heard the term pronoia? Pronoia? It's the opposite of paranoia, where you think the universe is conspiring to help you instead of hurt you.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll call our group.
Pronoia.
Pronoia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, we needed a name, then it just came to us.
Pronoia.
It sounds like a dope band.
Yeah.
Gonna go see Pronoia at the Staples Center.
Pronoia. It's fun.
Yeah.
If you do that, if you really do imagine that every single thing that's happening in your life is a grand conspiracy
to help you,
to advance you, to bring you, or another way to put it, do you ever listen? I love listening to Christian radio. This guy was talking about a thing called convection, which is being inhaled into the Christ. So when you start like
a black hole?
Well, I think like a white hole. I guess it would be a black hole.
Gobbling up planets?
Like you're being like drawn into the super intelligence, and you're becoming you're being sort of lifted up into it. The thing that makes the fucking big green egg work, like the thing that sucks smoke up, that's happening to you into the divine intelligence. And as it happens, you imagine you're the one doing the stuff to get you closer to it, but really it's just your mind playing tricks on you. You have no choice. You're going to wake up. You're going to gain realization. And so as that's happening, you kind of, like you can quit something. You can quit drinking. You can quit smoking, but you kind of long for it. But then sometimes you notice you just stop doing shit that was bad for you because you found a better way to live, and it naturally falls away.
Right.
That's convection. You're being drawn into the divine mind. As that happens, the shit that looks like austerity when you're like further away begins to actually just be a natural way that you act. You just become naturally more graceful, naturally less inclined to do shitty things, naturally more tuned in with like the 150-year-old version of you.
Ooh.
You know, that you sort of naturally, and that just happens on its own. Because you're being convected into the Christ, sucked into the omega
the holy,
point.
The divine.
Yeah.
My God, I mean, it's a mystery enough to be born a human being at all.
Yes.
You know, just to be alive is an extraordinary mystery.
Yes.
To have the ability to love, to feel emotions, to understand beauty, to be moved by a symphony. All of these things we take for granted, but actually they're deeply mysterious. We don't really know what we are or who we are, and which is one of the reasons I'm so fascinated by Rick Strassman's work. You presented his film, DMT, The Spirit Molecule, and on my upcoming speaking tour, I'm going to be doing an event with Rick on the 14th or 15th of May in Sedona. I think it'll be the first time that Rick has spoken publicly for quite a while. Rick has a colleague called Andrew Gallimore, who teaches at the University of Okinawa in Japan, and Rick and Andrew have together developed a technology for releasing DMT into human volunteers in a very slow drip that will keep them in the DMT state, if they wish, for hours on end. And the intention is to use this technology to explore and map the DMT realm.
When do I sign up?
As soon as possible.
Where do I go?
It's very close. Imperial College, it looks like Imperial College London is going to deploy this technology in further research into DMT, and that research is not going to be purely and simply into the therapeutic potential of a psychedelic, which is very important research to do. It's going to be an investigation into the nature of reality using a psychedelic, the mysterious nature of reality. And it is odd, and you know this from personal experience, that when you get plunged into that DMT realm, it is so different from the realm of our daily world, filled with geometry, filled with these sprightly intelligences, completely internally coherent. How can that be generated by the brain? Or are we dealing with some other level of reality that we haven't encountered yet? I think that ancient cultures, and in particular my lost civilization, were deeply involved in exploring the mysterious nature of reality.
The funniest guys to me are guys that do characters, but they're themselves.
Yeah.
And they talk real, and that's why, I mean, you and Burr, you're the same guys on and off stage. When we're talking, sometimes you get silly, sometimes you're serious.
Right. Just be yourself, yeah. I know what you're saying. Be sincere.
But you can be just as fucking goofy as you want, but don't stay in that.
Yeah.
It's so hacky to me.
It can be. I'm always waiting for someone to do it right. I don't want to pass judgment. Like maybe one guy comes along and he's in character all the time, but it's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
it's possible.
I just watched Jim Carrey on when he did Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing.
Oh, that was the documentary.
No, that was that sprang from that. But I was watching the movie last night. I forget what it's called. Something.
Man on the Moon.
Yeah, Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Boy, Jim's good.
Oh, it's brilliant. You know what's really interesting with him? He's taken like a severe psychological and I guess philosophical turn, where he's just thought about life and things. He must have had like some psychedelic experiences too.
I think so. Sounds like it.
Yeah, because he's just talking about like what matters and what doesn't matter, and and there's just a bunch of like interviews and clips of him discussing things where you're like, whoa, like this guy he's not talking like Jim Carrey, the world-famous A-list actor who's had gigantic smash movies. He's not talking like that at all. He's like talking like some guy who's just trying to sort of understand his place in the universe.
In he really is.
Really profound way. He's a very well thought-out guy.
Did you watch this thing about him painting?
No.
This came out a couple months ago.
Oh, didn't we play this where some of his paintings are really cool? They're like in neon and shit.
Yeah, but he says some of the stuff that he's been thinking about and dealing with and whatnot.
So it's called I Need Color.